The heaviest things in life aren't burdens you carry on your back. They're iron and gold. Not the kind you lift, but the kind you forge. Decisions, hard choices, defining moments. You walk around every day with that weight in your chest, not because you're weak, but because you're holding on to choices you refuse to make. And it's killing you slowly. Decisions unmade become anchors. They don't just sit in your mind quietly. They scream in the background of everything you do. You feel it in your chest when you wake up. You feel it when you're trying to focus. That constant pressure. It's not the world crushing you. It's the consequences of hesitation stacking higher and higher until you can't breathe. And still, you delay. Still, you rationalize. Still, you wait, hoping clarity will just appear like a gift from nowhere. But clarity doesn't come from overthinking. It doesn't arrive as a revelation while you're staring at the ceiling, lost in your own echo chamber. Clarity comes the moment you choose. You want peace? Make the damn decision. You want to breathe again? Close the open loops. The stress you feel isn't punishment. It's a system overload. It's your soul begging you to move. The longer you delay, the heavier it gets. That's why you can't sleep at night. That's why your jaw is tight, your shoulders sore, your energy drained. Your mind was never built to juggle every possible outcome. It's not a storage room for uncertainty. It's a weapon meant to act, to strike, to lead. But instead of leading, you're loitering in your own potential. You're playing out 20 futures and choosing none. And that's not freedom. That's slow death. Iron and gold. Those are the true weights of life. Iron is responsibility. Gold is potential. Responsibility demands decisions. Potential demands action. You carry them both every day, and if you don't act, they don't sit still. They harden. They lock your mind in a cage of anxiety and stagnation. And the worst part, no one else can lift them for you. You're stressed because deep down, you know what needs to be done. You know which direction you should take. You know who and what no longer belongs. But knowledge without action is just noise. You don't need more time. You need more courage. You don't need more information. You need more commitment. The weight will not go away. You either carry it and crumble, or you forge it into something indestructible. That pressure you feel, that's your greatness trying to be born. That's your legacy waiting for you to pick a direction and go. So ask yourself the real question. How much longer are you going to drag this weight before you use it? How much longer will you avoid the conversation, delay the decision, stall the next step, knowing damn well your future is being held hostage by your fear? Fear of making the wrong call, fear of what others might say, fear of not being perfect. Let that go. Indecision is the thief in the shadows. It doesn't take everything at once. It drains you, drop by drop. It makes you tolerate less than you deserve. It makes you shrink when you should be rising. Every second spent in limbo is a second lost in the life you could have built. So pick up the iron, claim the gold, choose a direction, even if your hands shake, even if your voice trembles. That's where transformation begins. Decision is the cure, because no matter how hard it gets after you choose, it will never be as hard as living in hesitation. You made the decision. You finally stepped forward. And now, everything feels louder, faster, more real. This is where most people collapse. They thought the storm would pass the moment they chose. They thought the fear would vanish, the path would clear, the weight would lift. But the truth is, choosing was only the beginning. Now you carry it for real. Now you walk it for real. Now the excuses are gone and only action remains. This is the war after the war. The battlefield isn't just in your head anymore. It's in your daily life. It's in the execution, in the structure, in the resistance you meet from the world once it sees you're no longer stalling. The moment you move, friction begins. Systems push back. People doubt you. Obstacles multiply. And you start asking, did I choose wrong? But pause. Realize this. The pain of action is different from the pain of indecision. One breaks you, the other builds you. Every challenge you now face is feedback. Every failure you now encounter is progress. Every doubt you now crush underfoot becomes armor. That's what action gives you that hesitation never could. Momentum. And with momentum comes clarity, power, focus. The weight you carry now, it's iron forged into discipline, gold melted into confidence. And each time you show up, when it's inconvenient, when you're tired, when no one is watching, you reinforce your identity. You become undeniable. And here's the twist. The stress that used to cripple you no longer touches you the same. Not because life became easier, but because you've changed. You've expanded. Your frame is wider. Your threshold is stronger. You now carry what used to crush you. People around you won't understand what changed. They'll see the results, but not the resolve. They'll talk about your luck, but never your late nights. They'll praise your rise, but never mention the war you fought alone, with no applause, no backup, no guarantees. And you won't explain, because you don't need to. You're not here for validation. You're here for evolution. This is where legacy takes root, not in ideas, not in dreams, but in actions executed consistently under fire. This is where you become unshakable, where doubt becomes a whisper you ignore, where failure becomes a stepping stone, not a stop sign. And when the next choice comes, and it will, you won't freeze, you won't stall, you'll stand taller, decide faster, move sooner. Because now you know, clarity isn't something you find, it's something you earn. Freedom isn't given, it's forged. Greatness isn't stumbled upon, it's chosen again and again. You don't fear the weight anymore. You welcome it, because you are not the same. You made the decision, you did the work, and now you've become the result. This is what it means to own your life. This is the other side of decision. This is the aftermath of action.